underestimate the power of PlayStation.
Beyond.
What's up, everybody? It's Greg Miller live at E3 for IGN Podcast Beyond. Episode 141. I knew that right off the top of my head. Yeah. I'm, of course, alongside my sick compadre, Ryan Clements. Ryan, how you doing?
It's been a rough show, man.
It's been a long show. Your throat's hurting. It's gonna be.
I've never had. This is actually the worst sore throat I've ever had in my entire life.
In your entire life?
In my entire life. Yes.
That's impressive.
You'll be alright.
In a bad way.
I'll heal.
Maybe.
Well, you can just save your comments today for Yoda-like wisdom on what happened at E3. And of course, next to me, the guide's guru, Colin Moriarty.
I may be asleep right now. I don't even know.
You don't even know. It's been a long week.
I will also say that you started our timer that we have with Mission Impossible-like precision.
I know what I'm doing. I want to make sure we're not wasting all of our time here. We are live in the IGN War Room. They are getting ready to close it down. If our War Room is in the convention center, the LA Convention Center, where they hold E3. It's great during the conference, but it means that at 8 o'clock after the conference, everything gets shut down. Internet, power, we lose everything. We got to get out of here. So I have to get a preview.
They release these hyenas into the War Room.
Tomorrow morning, at 9 o'clock on the PlayStation channel, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, Infamous 2 preview. Colin and I have already contributed. One, Hillary Goldstein's going to join us to talk about it.
Yep.
That, of course, means, sadly, we can't talk at all about what we saw for Infamous 2 right now during Podcast Beyond, but you can check it out tomorrow. So I need to get this podcast done, processed, put live through the internet before the power goes out and we lose all internet, and then also do this thing. So we're running on a previous schedule, plus it's E3. It's Thursday, someday in June, I don't know. June 17th. This is the third and final day of E3. The show floor is officially closed. We've seen everything, and now it's time to reflect a little bit.
Yeah, let's.
Colin, what was your favorite Sony-related thing? It doesn't have to be a Sony product. Something that's coming to the PlayStation you saw here at E3.
It's tough. I mean, I guess it would be Twisted Metal.
Twisted Metal, yeah.
Was probably. I mean, out of the things we didn't know about, Killzone 3 was awesome.
Yeah.
I was also really excited about PlayStation Plus, but I think even though they didn't flesh it out very well.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think Twisted Metal was awesome. I really didn't expect it. I mean, David Jaffe's,
he's proven that he's a liar
he's
and
a
cannot
liar.
be trusted about anything.
Yeah, he can't.
I'm not coming to E3. Oh, I'm not working on Twisted Metal.
And then I'm going to drive out in an ice cream truck.
That was a pretty awesome entrance.
Yeah.
So, I mean, alright, so let's even take it back a step there. Sony conference, Tuesday. Ryan, this is your first conference of all time. What did you think of it, minus the entire disaster that it actually was?
The horrendous panic that gripped me.
We made sure we checked the wireless card before we left the office. Ryan was going to live blog from the show.
Not only did I install the software when we were back in San Francisco, I then checked my connection here in LA before we even left for the conference.
Yeah.
That was gold.
And sure enough, we get there. First off, in the Shrine Auditorium, there's no cell reception.
Hole.
It's terrible. I was trying to text Ryan to tell him I was in line with 3D glasses, and it took like 4 attempts. Finally, we get seated. Ryan turns on. It doesn't even turn on the computer. We brought 2 batteries, so we'd be all set. Turns it on with like 10 minutes to go to the conference, and it looks like it connects fine. His AIM opens up, and he can't open. None of the windows are connecting to the internet. There's no internet connection except the AIM. We had AIM. We could tell people what was happening, that we were screwed.
It was like out of a comedy. The fact that I would message Ryan and I'd be like, "Can you see this text?"
Yeah, no response.
And then there'd be no response, and it'd be like,
you're gone.
And disappear.
I can't 3G anything on my iPhone. I can't text anybody to tell them what's happening. Then once we figure it out that we're just gonna send the live blog through an AIM window. Then at the War Room, the internet goes down. It was a comedy of errors. Yeah. We finally got it running with like 30 minutes into the show.
Yeah.
And everything worked out fine. But I thought it was the most solid conference. I thought they destroyed it. I thought it was the most solid conference all around. It was 2 hours, which I know was long for some, but it was 2 hours of solid announcements.
Right.
And my problem is, Colin, you filmed something I haven't seen yet today about how it went. What was the general consensus? Did people think Sony won, or did they think they showed well?
No, I mean, I think, I think Nintendo and Sony both did the best. I think it's 1 and 2 that way. I don't think Microsoft.
By the way, I was going to say, the way that Colin says that, he thinks Nintendo won.
Yeah, I mean,
he's trying to frame this in a way that doesn't make him look like he's not a member of PlayStation or Team PlayStation.
No, I mean, I do think Nintendo won. I mean, just because I think, we knew the 3DS was going to be here, but I really wasn't even excited about it because I was like, whatever. Nintendo hasn't done anything really interesting in a couple of years, and but the games they were releasing or showing were awesome, and I did play the 3DS extensively today, and it was really cool. But Sony finished a really strong second place. If it wasn't for what Nintendo, specifically what Nintendo did, Sony easily would have been.
I think here's what I think. I think that I only watched parts of Nintendo's conference. I was writing during it. I didn't think it was all that impressive not watching it all the way through.
I also thought that, I think, I agree with you in that a lot of the things they showed were impressive and actually got me really excited. If you have to take it as a whole, which you do if you're going to judge the press conferences, you have to take into consideration the god-awful, like,
Zelda presentation that didn't work.
At the beginning, like, oh, hey, down there. Mm-hmm. Then Zelda doesn't work. Then there's that dumb trailer of them getting sucked into the DS. I don't care what you say, but Reggie having his face blown with fire.
The Reggie part was bad, but I thought it was really cool. Miyamoto, like, with the dog popping out of it.
And we all thought he was going to get attacked by the dog.
I thought it was really, I thought it was cute and stuff like that.
I don't know.
I
thought it was awkward.
The Zelda thing was broken, there's no doubt about it, and it wasn't broken apparently on the floor. I wasn't going to wait around to try to play it. But, they did announce, I was really excited about Kid Icarus, because I really love that game, and Pilot Wings is, even though it's not really Pilot Wings, is gonna be really sort of. I was just really impressed with their show after the last 2 years where they had nothing that like interested the hardcore audience. It was almost everything that interested the hardcore audience, including not one mention of that vitality sensor, which I thought was really cool. It seemed like they were, in other words, it seemed like they were listening.
See, I think people are high on the fact that they said there's a new Kirby, there's a new Donkey Kong. I think in 6 months nothing will have changed. The Wii will still be a breeding ground for shovelware, and there will still be very few things. And I think that everything that PlayStation announced over there will come to fruition. And I mean, the fact that they just had premium PSN, Killzone 3, Move games that did not suck.
Yeah,
that was the big thing, right? That these Move games weren't terrible. They're actually cool.
Metal.
Yeah, Twisted Metal.
Infamous 2.
I mean,
they
showed some Portal 2.
Portal 2.
Jesus.
Bombshell.
Oh my God,
Bombshell.
I went crazy when I saw that.
I was like, I was next to Greg, and I could feel the energy.
I had two giant excited screams. One was for Portal 2 when I figured it out. The second was the expletive of when they announced that there was going to be the Dead Space 2 limited edition, and they just popped up on the screen and said that it was Extraction, because it popped up and we all looked at it, and then I went, oh shit, and like that was, I was freaking out.
Hopefully they put trophies in that sucker.
They will. They have to.
Yeah.
They have to.
But that was really exciting. Yeah, the game showing up was really cool, and
that was such a great moment for nerds.
Yeah,
like, if you knew all the history behind him coming out there and him being all like sheepish about it's nice they punched me in the face and stuff like that.
Right, yeah, it was cool.
He
was like very like almost like it was like self-deprecating humor in a way. It was cool.
Which is what he deserves, because the guy was, I think, very unprofessional about how he handled it.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. But I think it made Valve look like a company that wasn't capable of programming for the PS3 if they're going to constantly complain about its architecture and stuff like that.
So you have all that, and then of course Kevin Butler.
Oh, that was the best moment of the show, no doubt.
Yeah.
That I can't think of a more fun I've ever had at E3 than listening to that speech live, especially.
Yeah,
seeing
he was
him
so
on
great.
stage was very special, and I wish you could have been there.
Yeah, me too. I couldn't be, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, the entire time I was just tense because I wanted it to be perfect.
Yeah.
I didn't want him to mess up,
screw up or stumble, because it ruins the mystique if he did.
But it was flawless.
He didn't screw up.
Single
even when somebody
mistake.
heckled him, or not even heckled him, but yelled something from the crowd, like you could see him hesitate for a moment as if to stay on track.
He was
or
considering.
And then he turned around, I love you too. No, it's just great. And I love that they took pop shots at the Connect. Still can't say that. Still can't say that. Connect and the Wii stuff.
Yeah, they need to do things like that, and it's cool that they're able to do things like that. It shows that they're confident in their product, and they should be, because the Move is actually really cool.
Yes.
Oh, did you get a chance to try it?
So we went upstairs. My play with it was very limited. I did play, the game I played the most actually was at Capcom. I played Resident Evil 5, and I wrote a little preview of it or whatever. But it's cool. Like, even just watching people play, the sports game was the one that I thought was most interesting.
Sports Champion.
Yeah, Sports Champion.
Gladiator.
The archery, like pulling it out of your quiver, and like it just really responded 1-to-1. It was really cool. I was watching Christine play Heavy Rain, which is a great game with the controller. It looks like it's even more ambient. You can just kind of sit back on your couch and enjoy it like a movie with the controllers. See, I wrote that. I used to talk on Beyond about Natal, or whatever the hell it's called now, Connect. Being the one that's going to be more commercially viable, and that might be so, but it's definitely not the cooler product. And seeing them both in action made me change my mind about those completely.
I used to think, like, before going into this show, I kept thinking to myself, man, Natal is cool. Connect is cooler.
Yeah, I
than
know.
Move.
It's just,
but now I'm, it's totally the other. Like, can we, by the way, the thing we went to early this morning, the first thing we did that Hill got us into.
Yeah, that's
Can we
live.
talk about that?
Yeah, that's live. Yeah.
All right.
Connect.
So, yes.
The the Child of
Eden. All right, we saw Child of Eden as a group.
Yeah.
Now, first of all, the game looks amazing visually and musically, and I think the gameplay will be really cool too. But I just noticed when he was playing, the demoer was playing, it didn't seem very accurate.
Oh, no.
It seemed like he was trying to target the enemies with his hands.
Yeah,
and
it
he
was
kept
all
having
over
to do a jerk, like a forward flick of the wrist motion.
Well, I think that was just deuce. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, to shoot. Like he would target and then shoot, right?
Yeah.
And it just didn't look right.
Yeah.
And you could tell there was some problems, and of course, might have just been the demo.
Yeah, early tech.
But the move, it's accurate.
I think it'll fit in there. I think you'll see move for Child of Eden when it comes to PlayStation 3, and I think it'll be awesome.
You think so?
Yeah, totally. Because I asked them on the way out, and they said, yeah, they're looking into that. So
that seems to be the only core game for Kinect, though. You know what I mean? Like they showed a bunch of games that I'm just like
Joyride. Nobody's gonna
what
no
is this?
hardcore
Adventures
game.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Like we have Killzone is gonna use it. SOCOM is gonna use it.
SOCOM is great with it. I want to make sure that we say that. I don't know if you've been reading all the previews, Podcast Beyond listeners. I know that I was hard on it coming out of GDC. I think it was just that they had just gotten the tech. They've polished it now, and I'm totally gonna play SOCOM that way. Like I really, really dug it. I'm gonna play I didn't play Resident Evil 5. I played a little bit of it. It wasn't my thing.
Right.
I'm totally gonna play it with Move. Because that's the thing. Being able to precisely aim a headshot quickly, that's what it's about.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's what I was doing with that.
Yeah, the snapping motion or whatever. And I also want to say, even though no one's going to have access to this kind of stuff, really, for the most part, the 3D games that they showed are really cool. I sat with the Sly Collection, which was really cool.
Yeah.
The characters really pop.
Did you play MotorStorm Apocalypse with it?
No, I didn't play MotorStorm.
MotorStorm Apocalypse is the one that showed me how cool 3D could be. I've been saying it for a while that there hasn't been a game that's really made 3D, why would I need this? You don't need it. But it did totally add that dimension of driving up the side of a building that had just fallen down, driving through these plumes of smoke, hitting people. That is awesome.
And Super Stardust was really cool too. Same game.
Yeah, I missed that one. Yeah.
But it was really cool. I mean, everything popped really nicely or whatever. Unfortunately, the technology is so financially...
It's so expensive.
Yeah, and I can't do the glasses. I can't wear glasses over my glasses. I
took mine off because I can still see close up.
See, that's my thing. Are you so blind you can't see without them?
And I would need to sit directly in front of the TV.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
I'd be afraid they would scratch my glasses.
Yeah.
We got to see a little bit of Metal Gear Solid Rising.
Yep.
I went to a thing today. No, it's not playable. They just showed the trailer that they showed during 360, the Microsoft conference, and then as well during the Konami conference. However, we did an interview with them today. The news that came out of that is that they're looking at motion controls for the swordplay in that a little bit. No idea how that'll actually pan out, and that if you're a Metal Gear fan, this falls into the space between Metal Gear 2 and Metal Gear 4. It's going to tell about how Raiden went to be dark and cyborgish, that he shows up. Because he ended on such a happy note in 2. Pregnant, what's real, what's fake, but the girl's there, Rose is there.
But, one quick note, a lot of people thought it was going to be like a hack and slash game. Our Japanese correspondent read an interview recently that was published in Famitsu, I want to say, but I'm not sure.
Whatever.
And they said that there is going to be some stealth gameplay in the game as well.
Yeah, that'll be interesting
to see
how
that
all
goes
goes out.
Hack and slash.
And I mean, speaking of third-party stuff, what I really liked about the show, in addition to many other things, was that EA had a really strong presence there, and I really think it's a sign that that big developers. What is that? It's like a robot.
Oh my god,
Soleus has found us.
Big developers and publishers might be realizing that the tables might be turning on the 360.
Yeah,
and they want to. I mean, I think it's pretty clear that the tables are turning, and they want to be ahead of the game with Move, and they want to just let the PlayStation community know that their games are going to be there. It's really cool that we're going to get Dead Space Extraction, which no one really played it because it was on the Wii and it didn't sell well at all. Maybe 30,000 copies or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
And or maybe more. I don't know. But not well, and I think that's really cool. And obviously, the Medal of Honor beta is going to be,
exclusive for a couple days, right?
A little while, which is a nice,
so
nice
many
gesture.
exclusives in that.
It's really cool, man. And then, of course, and I'd like to hear Greg more of your opinion on this because they didn't flesh it out. Was the PlayStation Plus?
PlayStation Plus. This is the premium PSN. If you're not up on the terminology, I wish they would have called it that a little bit because they phrased it more. It was explained very not poorly. Like it made sense the way he explained it.
It's cryptic.
$50 a year. You could do it on a 3 months, right? Wasn't that the other day? Like $15, $20. I'm hazy on that number off the top of my head. It gets you into betas, exclusive themes,
demos.
exclusive demos, and you get a free PSN game every month. Is that what they said? Every month they're choosing a different one.
Yeah.
The problem was that they didn't have hard examples for it. You know what I mean? So it was, hey, everything you have now will always be free. Don't worry, but we're adding this. And then he's like, we're starting it at the end of this month, and the first game you'll get is Wipeout HD. It's like, and then they were very vague about demos and betas and yada yada yada. I mean, the way they should have done it was, Pixel Junk Shooter 2 is coming out next month, which I know it isn't, but it's coming out next month in this scenario. You're getting it for free. You're getting these 17 themes, these 14 avatars. Like, you know what I mean? Like, litter the screen with what you're getting so people understand what it is. The other big thing that they stressed during it too was that you only have access to this content as long as you're a subscriber. So if you do it for a year,
weird.
You think it sucks, then you would lose Wipeout HD. You'd lose those avatars.
Right.
Is it really that weird? I don't think it's that weird.
No, I don't think it's strange. I think it's kind of a good deal.
I don't know how it would work technically speaking.
All that stuff
Would
is
it
on a
delete
rental.
it? I mean, would
it would. You'd be locked out of that content.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying, would it delete the information off your hard drive? Would it lock it down?
It would lock it. It would be like, just like when you rent a movie from the PlayStation store. It's still on your hard drive until you delete it, but you can't play it necessarily.
Right. But you know, the price point is right. I think it's the same price point as Xbox Live. And when you consider you're getting a free game every month from the PlayStation Network,
12 games.
It pays for itself.
Yeah.
You know, even if you're getting the cheapest $5 games, which I don't think Wipeout is.
Yeah.
Then you're going to get your money's worth if you just.
Correct me if I'm wrong too. They're bundling in some minis, right? You're getting Age of Zombies and stuff.
Yeah, Age of Zombies and one other game.
Yeah. Field Runners.
Field Runners.
There's something else too that I thought. Yeah. Anyways, that's
There's
great
cool
stuff.
incentives.
Yeah.
I think it's going to do
smart.
well. I'm not really sure. Like, they need to. What I'm interested in is, like, when you're looking at the menu and names, you're going to get some special icons. Is your name going to be bigger? Is it going to be in lights or something?
What I expected them to say was that you do this, you get themes, and then you're going to get a whole bunch of exclusive avatars, and we're going to let you take your own photo for an avatar. We have the
really
PlayStation
cool.
F&I. It's about to go out huge with the Move. Why not incentivize? And that's such a basic feature of the 360 that they've had forever. And I don't know if they're worried about people taking pictures of their balls, which I'm sure is going to happen. But if 360 is doing it without a problem, why are we so slow to get to this seemingly basic thing?
Yeah, hopefully this is a sign that they're willing to catch up now with what Xbox Live wants.
Talking of prices, though, what do you think of the Move price tag we got?
I think it's too expensive.
Do you?
Yeah.
$50 for the wand. The sub controller is an extra 30. The games are going to be
steep.
$40, and then the eye is an extra $40.
Right, like I think what made it a little bit better was the story you broke yesterday about how when we were at Capcom they told us, and we verified it, or you verified the information, that you can use a DualShock controller as a sub controller, so that's an extra $30.
Yeah, so you figure you already have the whatever.
Oh, you can.
Yeah, you already have the $30 second analog stick sub controller, navigation controller, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, so you already have your DualShock.
But I mean, that's not obviously the most ideal thing to have hold a DualShock in one hand the whole time.
Right.
But you can do it. I've done it before plenty of times playing SingStar. It's not like it's impossible.
Right, so I don't really know why it would be so expensive. I think they need to bring the price down or whatever, but I don't think it's like prohibitively expensive.
I think
it
will be a lot better if the wand was. The wand right now is 40, correct?
Yeah, $39.99.
Right? The wand.
No, the wand. I'm sorry, is $49.99.
I think it would have been better if the wand was 40 and the sub controller was 20. I think those would have been much more appetizing.
Yeah, they would have been,
prices.
but
Yeah.
I think they're trying to keep it priced with what the Wii does, which because right now you're $10 over on each, I believe, and then also what a DualShock does. A DualShock's $50 as well.
Right.
But the important thing is the barometer for this test was my mother, who I had done an interview with days before during E3 in the very beginning that I was going to post, but then I kind of gambled my timetable wrong. I wasn't paying attention. But it was basically a conversation of her saying she was impressed by these Move games. She thought about she'd do it, and I was asking what her price point was, and she said, I think to get the system, the eye, the thing, the ideal point for me to get it on day one would be $399, and that's what Sony priced it at. So my mom has no reason now not to buy a PS3 as soon as this bundle's available, which I'll remind her constantly.
And then we'll play Resistance 2 online.
Exactly, yeah, and we'll be all over that. Colin,
Yep.
Resistance 3, not at the show.
Yep.
Last Guardian, not at the show.
Yeah, I wrote a little story about that yesterday, and maybe not so surprising that Resistance 3 is not at the show because they don't want to overlap it with Killzone, and obviously they're going to be able to show the game later. I'm sure it'll be ready by this time next year.
Yeah. Wait, you mean like out or like at the show you will play it?
No, I think it'll probably be out. I mean, that's going to be 2.5 years after Resistance 2. That's a long time. I mean, I know Insomniac said that they're going to start taking more time with their games, and obviously they're doing a cross-platform game that they're working on right now, but I still suspect that game has to be out.
Ladies and gentlemen, mark it in your books. Episode 141, Greg is predicting Resistance 3 will not be out by E3 next year.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Well, I mean, what are you talking about? Right now, it's February. Oh, they announced a date for Killzone, and I'm fried. I can't remember, but it's February something.
I thought they just said February. Did they give a firm date?
I don't remember anymore.
It's
I'm sorry.
definitely February in 2000.
February 2011.
All right, yeah. So I mean, right there, why would they run Resistance anywhere close to that? Resistance 3 would be fall.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point. But that movie, the only thing we know about it, Sony hasn't even acknowledged that that the game exists yet. We know that movie Battle Los Angeles comes out around the same time Killzone does. So why would that billboard has to be? I don't know. Like you have to think that that there's like a 4-month window around when that movie releases that Resistance has to be coming out. I don't see
So
why.
you're thinking like summerish, so
Yeah,
June. It'd be tight, maybe,
right.
even that it's going to
maybe
be
around
here
E3
before.
or whatever. But of course, the bigger surprise, having expected that Killzone and Resistance wouldn't go together, is the Last Guardian.
I expected at least
what?
a trailer. I would have expected at least a trailer.
But it's at the same time, it didn't even surprise me, because
Really?
I feel like that's the kind of game that they're going to do their big reveal at TGS this year.
But that's what I mean. Not even a reveal, just hey, here's a trailer.
This game still exists.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, I guess the Team Eco studio is so quiet to begin with. You know what I mean? That I guess has something to do with it. But
And I don't think.
I know it's fine. I just thought maybe they would probably want to save that tease for Japan.
speaking of saving something, let's go talk about completely blowing something. Patapon 3 announced, just thrown up in a teaser trailer for the PSP. Come on,
Yeah, the PSP
ladies and
wasn't given a
gentlemen.
lot of love, I don't think, except for like that.
It has that new ad campaign.
Yeah, that.
Marcus.
I like that. I actually like it.
I thought the Kevin Butler one with him went on too long and didn't get there, but his first commercial where he insults that guy, I thought was great.
Yeah.
Well, Brian Altano wrote a little, impressions on the conference and stuff like that, and he said it best. I think it was like their, obligatory PSP still exists thing, and that was basically it, So
I mean,
that's why Patapon. I don't think
it was
Patapon
interesting when I think it was Jack, maybe it was Peter, was talking about how PSP actually has a really good year. It's got Valkyria Chronicles, Patapon 3 now, Hot Shots Tennis. Those are all games that I am actually
Kingdom
really
Hearts.
excited about. Yeah, Kingdom Hearts. Yeah, these are all games I want to play, but they are always so spread out. You know what I mean? That it just doesn't feel like they're actually nailing it. But I think it'll be another year where people who love PSP will sit there and say it was a solid year, and everybody else is going to go, there's no games for PSP.
Yeah, they don't know what to do with that thing. They really have no idea what. I mean, I think it's pretty clear. They want to do something, and they just don't. They don't know. Like what?
Yeah.
Are they going to roll another one out soon? Maybe we'll see one next year or something in E3 or whatever.
Yeah, that I'd imagine.
I don't know. I mean, it's their whole marketing campaign and their lack of support for the PSP is very strange. If they're going to continue to have it on the market, otherwise just pull it.
All right.
And put Patapon 3 on the PS3.
I thought I was anticipating them to do both. It was going to be a PSN release you could play both ways, but they didn't. Ryan, what is your favorite PlayStation-centered game you saw? We already heard Colin. Now it's time for you.
Can I say the Kevin Butler speech?
No, you can't. That's not a game.
Question: does Rage come out on the PS3?
Oh yeah. Rage is going on PS3.
Yeah.
Rage looks absolutely incredible.
It does.
Yeah.
So that one is very close for me.
Okay.
Yeah, I might have to choose that. Although if I would say Portal 2, but I was really just watching videos. I didn't really play it.
I mean, that's going to be great. I mean, there's no doubt. I'm so happy we'll get that and get trophies for it finally.
Yeah.
But mine, Dead Space 2. Dead Space 2, that demo was awesome.
Did look very
that demo
nice.
was so
That
great.
was another. You audibly made a remark on that one.
When he got
too.
sucked out in that,
Yeah.
it
And it was
continued, they were
silent
fighting on I
in,
love
like,
that. That
silent
was so
space.
good. Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah.
So good.
Do we have a release date on that?
January.
No,
It's next year. Yeah, it's another. It's another stacked Q1 of next year.
I'm excited.
Amazing games. Yeah.
It's just it's just so weird. We're talking about early in the year. It's just like it's so weird that Killzone 2 came out after Resistance 2 and Killzone 3 is going to come out before Resistance 3. It's annoying me.
Well, they're pushing the best horse forward again.
All right.
The one needs to be taken out back and shot in the head and forgotten about, turned into glue. Nobody. No, I'm just kidding. No. Oh, and speaking of Killzone 3 too, I'm gonna have an article or a feature, whatever, editorial about it next week. I think this is more for Beyond fans because they're the only. I never wrote about Killzone 3 last time. I'll get to my point here. Sorry. I talked about how I wasn't super impressed with what I saw. Not that it looked great. It just looked a lot like Killzone 2. The 3D presentation that you gave there, where they ran it in 3D, I thought looked even better than what I had seen personally.
Right.
And I thought it was the power of a great trailer because they had released that trailer. I'm more excited for Killzone 3, even though it was the same stuff I'd already seen.
Right.
And that shouldn't shock anybody since I was such a Killzone 2 fan. But great stuff.
Yeah, the box art's real cool too. Check it out.
Seeing that demo on the giant screen in 3D was actually kind of an experience.
Yeah, right. That was right.
Even though I was doing the frantic live blogging.
Nothing's working. What do I do? It was a good E3.
It was a good E3.
I wish we could talk about Infamous 2. You've seen the trailer, obviously. I wasn't a big fan of the voiceover work in it.
Wait, you can comment on the trailer at the Sony press conference.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not. But I mean, it's kind of silly to do that when
We'll
me
have
and
so
Colin
much more to say
and I are loaded with impressions of Infamous 2 that we can talk about next week.
Just as a
and you can
teaser-
read about them tomorrow on ps3.ign.com.
Yeah, and as I teased on my Facebook yesterday, Greg and I got a lot of FaceTime with Nate Fox, so you're gonna have a lot of information.
Yeah, he's a game director, obviously, on Infamous 1 and 2. Great guy.
Yeah,
Love
really
Nate Fox.
friendly.
And
Really friendly.
he's super forthcoming about his games too. So a lot of interesting stuff there. I think that wraps it up.
Yep.
I have to go write my Infamous 2 preview more now.
We are tired too.
Yeah, and we have so much
Clemens
more stuff to do.
May or may not be dying. I'm not really
Yeah,
sure.
I'm really.
This might be his last podcast.
Yep.
We might send him
Farewell,
out into deep
Beyond.
space.
No, don't say things such as that.
All right.
All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. We will have a proper podcast next week where we will answer questions and sing songs and be ridiculous.
And have
Beyond.
Users lose all sense of reality and enter another world. Remember, do not underestimate the power of PlayStation.